What could be more intense than being a professional fighter? Being married to one, of course. It is not an easy task to partake in this journey, and in this video, we will outline MMA fighters with the most supportive spouses. Dustin and Jolie Poirier. Though trash talk is, in part, what makes fighting an exciting sport, there are some imaginary lines that fighters tend to not cross. This includes religion, race, family. These are things that are mostly considered off-limits, but by no official trash-talking rules are they off the table. Conor McGregor and Colby Covington have both taken shots at Jolie Poirier, but she's been a great sport about being in the crosshairs of insults intended to not necessarily hurt her, but rather boil the blood of her husband, Dustin Poirier. Furthermore, Jolie helps out with the Good Fight Foundation, which is a non-profit charity started by the duo. Jolie plays a huge role in many facets of Dustin's life and has been nothing short of phenomenal as a wife supporting her husband to navigate through such a brutal sport. Rose Namajunas and Pat Barry. Pat Barry, you remember him, right? He's a former kickboxer and MMA fighter. He made it all the way to the UFC, where he took on marquee names such as Mirko Cro Cop, Sheikh Congo, and Stefan Struve. Barry was known for the power in his hands and his thunderous kicks. Although he no longer competes, he plays a huge role in coaching the former two-time female strawweight champion, Rose Namajunas. Oh, and they are also engaged. Barry and Namajunas have been together through thick and thin, and though Barry has his own struggles to deal with, he saw them through and is Rose Namajunas' biggest supporter. Michael and Bree Chandler. It takes a strong person to be engaged to a fighter that often sacrifices his body for the sake of entertaining a crowd. Here we have Bree Chandler. 2 years after Michael slid into her DMs via email, the two dated and were later engaged in 2014. Bree is a doctor who works specifically on beautification surgeries, which comes in handy when she's married to someone that eats punches and kicks to make a living. The duo have adopted children, Hap and Ace. Though it's incredibly difficult to be a family man whilst going through a fight camp, Chandler makes it work, but it would not be possible without the help of his wife, of course. Bree not only makes things easier for Chandler, but she makes the scintillating lightweight contender one of the happiest men in the world. Carla Esparza and Matthew Lomeli. As one would assume, going through a fight camp is very difficult. Then there are people like Carla Esparza, who can work through a training camp while also planning a wedding. Certainly her husband, Matthew, plays his part in taking care of the planning that goes into organizing the wedding, while also being there for Carla as she prepared for the biggest fight of her life. Though the fight was rather anticlimactic, Esparza was able to defeat Rose Namajunas once again and bring the belt to her wedding. Conor McGregor and Dee Devlin. Can you think of a better from rags to riches story than Conor and Dee's? This couple went from cashing welfare checks from being the most popular and richest that the UFC has ever seen. Dee Devlin saw hardships, but she never lost faith in McGregor. She became the support system that he truly needed to fully focus on fighting, while she mitigated outside hardships that life has to throw at everyone, allowing Conor to work on his craft, which led him to becoming the most popular fighter in MMA history. The two have a family that consists of 3 children, and though McGregor still seems to have the drive to fight and win belts, the two can happily say that despite hard times, they've made it. And that's it for today's video. Don't forget to follow Sportskeeda MMA on all of our social media platforms.